And we're back. This is Mike Cernovich. It's a little dark in here. The lighting is bad and it's raining. Imagine this is a podcast, and then you won't care about video quality. I said I do a video every day. I'm doing a video every day. All right. Today we're going to talk about who are the three greatest philosophers, or who are the three biggest influences on me, why are they influences on me, and why you should care about them. By the way, it's kind of weird, kind of like tracking. I don't know if that shows in the actual recording, but it looks like there's a little mushroomy effect. All right, who do I copy? Who do I think are pretty amazing and that had the most influence on me, and why? It'd be Aristotle, Nietzsche, or Nietzsche, depending on how you want to say it, and Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie's the guy who wrote the How to Win Friends and Influence People and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. There was a funny review of Gorilla Mindset. A guy said, if Dale Carnegie's a little bit too homespun and cracker barrel-y for you, then Gorilla Mindset's great. I thought that's a good review, man. I'll take it. Why are these guys great? Well, here's why. Aristotle. Everything you hear about character is habit. Vince Lombardi, his speech is winning is a habit. Winning is in a sometimes thing. That comes from Aristotle. So today we live in a very odd time, and it's so odd that this would be controversial. Who are you? Right? We're a bunch of existentialist fucking pussies. Well, who am I? I don't know. I mean, I'm just complicated. There are multiverses within me. I'm this. I'm a lover. I'm a brother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. Maybe I'll go talk to a psychologist for $300 an hour and discover myself. No, fuck you. There is no you. You are what you do. You are what you do day in and day out. If you win, you're a winner. If you lose, you're a fucking loser. If you waste your time, you're a time waster. You're a life waster. You're nothing. There is no you. You are what you do. And that goes back to Aristotle. He was the tutor for Alexander the Great. He's very sober. The logical side of me, the philosophical side of me, is from Aristotle. I can't pronounce it. So one thing you'll learn about me is I've read a lot more than I've heard. So I'm always going to mispronounce words. It's kind of the curse of being self-educated. So the Nicomachean Ethics. If you're a Greek speaker, correct me. The book is amazing because if you read it, everything he defines his terms, everything he talks about. Well, friend. Well, what is a friend? And he goes on and on. You have friends of convenience. You have friends that you actually share love with. You have people that you're only friends with because you kind of know them or you see them at work or whatever. And he creates all these categories for things. And then he talks about virtue. What is a virtuous man? Well, a virtuous man is a man who does virtuous things. That's why I pissed off a lot of people when I said the other day that, if you don't spend time with your kids, if you're an absentee dad, you're a fucking shitty dad, Reality. Hey, I can hear that. Would you turn that down, please? Babe? Would you turn that down? So I can, you can't say you're something other than what you're doing. But that's what people don't want to hear. People want to hear, well, I'm an amazing this or I'm an amazing that. You're not. What do you do? What do you do throughout the course of a fucking day? That's who you are. It's really that simple. And I wish I would have known that when I was younger, because when you're younger and your identity is forming, then you're like, well, who am I? And I took IQ tests and personality inventories and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not saying that isn't valuable. But instead of sitting around and being all introspective, who am I? Just go out and fucking do things. The things you like to do, that's who you are. And then if you want more out of life, what do you imagine? What's your vision for your life? Then that's your ideal self, right? So you have your real self, who you are now, which is based on what you do. Then you have your ideal self, which is based on who you want to be, what you want to do. And then that's why we talk a little bit about the law of attraction, a little bit about vision, but why we're different. Okay, vision. Where do you see yourself? Who do you want to be? That's where that Napoleon Hill stuff, that's where the law of attraction stuff comes in. But if all you have is vision, you have nothing. You have fantasy. Focus. The gorilla mindset focus, right? Choice in the moment. Vision, focus, choice. The choice comes from Aristotle. That's the model of the gorilla mindset model, the Mike Cernovich mindset model. Maybe somebody else's, don't know, don't care, I didn't see anywhere else. Vision, focus, what you're doing in the moment. It's Aristotle. Because Aristotle says what you're doing is who you are. So is what you're doing, right, which is brought about by focus on what you want. So if I say, I don't know, what do you guys want? You got to write it all out, and that's why we got whole chapters. But if you told me, you know what, Mike, I want a 7-figure income this year, you know. Okay, what are you doing right now? What did you do today to even increase your income? Because people will say, well, I don't have enough money. You know, it's easy for Mike to say this. You know, what have you done today to make more money? So forget, you know, if you want to make a 7-figure income, how do you make a 7-figure income? Well, that means today you go on a freelance website or whatever, and you make an extra $1, right? Because that's the mindset. It doesn't matter how much more you're making today. It doesn't matter what the number is. It matters that it's something. When I started playing with monetization site, I made $12 on Amazon affiliate. And I was like, yes! I was so it was $12. Well, why am I excited? $12 in a month, right? Because it's just the idea, like, okay, like the principles. Well, here's how you monetize things. Here's how you do things. And now, you know, I'm certainly making more than $12 a month. But it's the idea that what are you doing right now? As Aristotle would say, you're not who you are. You're what you do. It's what you're doing, product of your focus towards your vision. There's the model, right? That's all it is. That's why people say, Mike, I want you to be my coach. First of all, I'm not a coach. But you know what I tell people if they want to hire me as a consultant? $1,000 an hour. Outrage! How dare you? Well, one, it's my time. I can charge whatever the fuck I want for it. Two is, you don't need an hour with me. You need 5 minutes. Here's the way a conversation goes. Mike, I'm just not where I want to be in life. And I would say, okay, let me see all of your gorilla mindset worksheets. Oh, well, book's $10, dude. Don't talk about, you know, whether $1,000 an hour is too much for me. I wrote a book, $10. I made the book so it's affordable for everyone. And even if you can't afford the book, you can read Danger and Play for free. You will always have a free entry point. 624 posts at Danger Play. Over 100 podcasts. Gorilla Mindset, $10. I think right now it's actually $8.99 on Kindle. And Amazon plays with the pricing on paperback. I think it's like $12, between $12 and $15 for paperback. Or read Danger and Play for free. But if you're not filling out the worksheets, what do we have to talk about? You want therapy. You want to discover who you are by talking, but you can't. You say, here's my vision for my life. Here's how I'm focusing in on my vision. Here are the choices I'm making in the present moment to bring me towards my vision. Do we need to talk for an hour? No. 5 minutes is all you need. I'll just say, send me your worksheets. Let me see them. Oh, I didn't do them. Okay, well then we have nothing to talk about. I'm not going to take your money. Go talk to a therapist. Go pay a therapist $250 an hour 3 times a week for a couple of years. See how much value you get out of that. Nothing. So that's the thing. You don't even need me as a consultant. Everything is there. Same thing with the website. I can look at a website in 5 minutes. Here's what you're doing wrong. You know, but then people don't listen. I told a guy, take the pop-ups off your site. He said, I won't link to you ever again if you don't take them off. He didn't. And then he wonders why his traffic isn't growing. If new people come to your website and your fucking 50% of traffic is mobile. If somebody comes on your website on a mobile device and the whole screen fills up with widgets and pop-ups and join me now, you know what they do? Delete. Gone. There you go. There's your free $1,000 consult. Took me 30 seconds. Take the fucking pop-ups off your site. Everybody, I see all you guys doing it. Facebook things. People that I used to look at their sites and I would read. One guy had a Facebook, it was like a video game. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. And I actually knew, you know, and this is multiple people. So if you think I'm talking about you, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about a whole lot of people. So if I know you, I know your site, and I know that your site is, you know, good enough that I'll maybe read it, you know, if I'm in line at the airport. And I won't even go there. What, is it New Year's they're going to go there? No. Do you need to pay me $1,000 to tell you that? No. You need to take action. And that's why I don't even like consulting. Take fucking action. And then come to me to troubleshoot. Well, you know, Mike, I read the whole Gorilla Mindset. Here are all my filled out worksheets. I'm having a real problem with my self-talk. And then I would say, well, what are 10 things you told yourself today about yourself? If you can't tell me 10 things, then there's nothing to talk about, right? And then that's why you realize you don't need a coach. You don't need a therapist. Auto-regulation, right? I teach you in Gorilla Mindset how to auto-regulate. Here's how you troubleshoot. That's why when people say, Mike, I don't agree with you, I do this. Instead, I'm like, great, you're auto-regulating. I don't care if you agree with me. The end game is for you to auto-regulate your life, to have the tools you need to control your thoughts and emotions, to live life on your terms, to live the life of your dreams. But if you don't have these tools, you can't do anything. So again, that's why my consulting rate is so high, because there's no reason to talk to me unless you've done everything already on your own. And if you've done everything on your own, then you want to save time. You're like, well, I don't want to spend 30 hours looking for stuff. Well, then fine. But whatever. It is what it is. But the point is you don't need it. That's why I gave you Gorilla Mindset. It's all there. You got to auto-regulate. You got to take action. You got to get away from this mindset that you're going to sit around and talk to people for hours. But you know where that comes from? And now we're leading on to the next thinker. God, my segues are fucking good. I did not prepare for this. It's Nietzsche. Why is Nietzsche or Nietzsche so influential on me? All my mindset stuff is an outgrowth. Even Danger and Play is based on a Nietzsche quote. Slave mentality. Slave mindset. Why do people want you to think that you can sit around and think about who you are all day? Big money. Big money in every way. Why? Here's why. If you sit around and think about who you are all day and you're depressed, well, you better go see a therapist and pay him $300 an hour. You better take drugs. Because I can tell you, if you think you're depressed and all you do is sit around, you're going to be more depressed. So then you better get more drugs, right? Take more drugs. Whereas I would say, if you're depressed, I want you to do this. What are you talking about? Yeah, I want you to practice the abundance posture poses 100 times a day. 10 times a day. 10. Hold each one for 5 seconds. Oh, well, who am I? Well, you feel better, right? Who cares who you are? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's all Nietzsche. This mindset stuff that we have is all slavery. It's the master-slave dichotomy. When people tell me, Mike, you can't do that. You can't say that. You've offended me. Are you my master? You're sure trying to act like it. Am I a slave? Oh, I've offended you, cupcake. So sorry. I can't recommend your stuff, Mike, because of your Twitter. Great. Fuck you. Think I care? Fuck. Oh, you're not a $10 book. Oh, shit. You fucking... Who do you think you are? Well, you have that narcissistic, self-important slave mindset. And you're just another little slave trying to control me, another little slave, instead of looking at who's your masters. Why can you get offended? You can't offend me. How are you going to offend me? The person I love most in the world, probably ever, of anyone, is my grandmother. And if you insulted her in my face, I'd kick your ass. But if you did it online to troll me, it isn't going to offend me. But you get because I don't think like a slave. A slave gives you the power to manipulate my emotions. If I let you manipulate my emotions, who has the power? You do. But I refuse to give other people the power to control my thoughts and emotions and to control my behavior. So that's very much Nietzsche. Nietzsche is also about doing philosophy with the hammer. So he just came in, and it's hard to appreciate unless you've taken the whole, unless you knew all the philosophers that he read about. If you just kind of jumped in, it's a little hard. That's probably why I think Beyond Good and Evil is the best one for a non-philosophy major to read. But he just comes in and he tore down all the structures, and that's just kind of what I do. Here's what the fuck I'm going to do. Can I be in your face a little bit? Sure. Do I give a fuck? No. Do I care what is sacred or offensive, or can I say that word? Do I care? No. Because I just come in with a fucking hammer. Smash it. Right? That's what I do, and that's very Nietzschean. Do philosophy with the hammer. Nietzsche also talks a lot about just the force of will as a man. I don't have the book handy, but in Beyond Good and Evil, there's a great quote which said, in the beginning, the noble caste is always the barbarian caste. They did not get there so much by force of physical force, but by force of will. They were, in every way, more complete humans, which means more complete beasts. Think about it. Google that quote. We have a barbaric animal nature. And I'm in touch with it, and that's why I'm happy and I don't have the anxiety that other people have. I don't sit around thinking, well, am I a good person? Good person by whose definition? Fucking slave masters, right? Weak people. I don't sit around, well, am I, I think, well, why am I listening to these fucking people? Why do I care? Why do I care? Because I'm not a slave. That's why I don't care about the fucking shit. You don't like it? You don't like my videos? Too edgy for you? Go cry yourself to sleep. Get a fucking blankie. I don't fucking care. Because I'm not a slave. And you need to ask yourself why you're trying to control me. Why don't you worry about your own life? Why don't you ask yourself why you're such a fucking pussy that you get offended? Oh, I'm offended. That makes you a pussy. Period. So that's the Nietzschean aspect. But I have another side to me. The Dale Carnegie, How to Win Influence People, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. I can be very kind and compassionate. I can go from this to, I care. And I do care because as a man, and I've talked about this in other videos, I have dimensions. I can rant and get in your face, and I can say, let's cool down, let's talk. Okay, so let's analyze things, and why do you feel that way? What's going on? I can do all of it. You ever see me with kids or animals or everything? People can't believe it. Like, why do children love Michael? Because I can go from zero to psycho, and I can go from psycho to zero, which most people can't. And the way to do that, maybe we'll do a whole other video, but I've practiced in the way actors practice on how to get angry. How does my body feel? What does my body do? And then I practiced how to be calm. And then I would go from back and forth like, and then just like that, calm down. Always in control of my emotions. And it bothers people. Ask my little friend over here, why don't you get mad? Why don't you get mad? So then what you sometimes have to do is, sometimes I have to act mad or make myself become into that state of being angry because I'm not going to let other people control my emotions because that's what a slave does. And also sometimes to reach people, you do have to have a more compassionate approach. You have dimensions as a man. So if you want to understand the big picture, the Nietzschean stuff, the real, aggressive stuff, that filters away the time wasters, okay? Because if you read a couple of my tweets and then you're not going to buy my book or tell other people about my book, you're not going to take action in your life. You're not. You're a little bitch. So I don't want you wasting my time. I don't want time wasters. Mike. And then people trying to police what I write on my own site, on my own Twitter. Fuck you, just don't read it. People tell me, I had to unfollow you. I had to unfollow you lately. You're too arrogant. Arrogant? I spend all my day helping people. Everything I do is demonstrative. I don't just say, look at me. I say, look at me. I talk kind of with a lisp. My voice isn't that fucking deep. Had all kinds of fucked up shit with my skin. And look what I'm doing. It's just to say, look at you. You can do anything you want to do. If you think that's arrogant, then you're right. I'm not the right person for you because you don't have a gorilla mindset and there's really nothing to talk about. So that is the way to keep away the time wasters. The whole aggro in your face. Most people don't know what my views on anything are. I just don't want people who are offended. If you think I say, some guy goes, you say the N-word, I say N-I-G-G-A, nigga. Okay? There's a difference. But if that bothers you, I don't want you, right? I don't want you. You're rejected by me. You think you're rejecting me. I put that there because I don't want you wasting my time because you're a fucking pussy. I have no time for that. But I do have time to be softer and more compassionate and more relatable and approachable to people who are like, yeah, Mike's got his views. I think he's just fucking wrong. But I don't care. I like to talk to people who are wrong. I like to get to know people who are wrong. That's who I want. And then when I talk to those people, like, wow, Mike, you're so nice in real life. Yeah, you've made it through the process, right? You've made it through, so I want to talk to you. I want to talk to people. I don't care if you're a liberal. What does it matter to me? I don't care if you're conservative. I'm not a Republican. If you're a Republican, I think Republicans have betrayed people like me. I think Republicans are very anti-men. And even though they go, oh, we're masculine and these liberals are beta males and everything, well, do you got my back? Are you standing up for men? How? I don't see it. So I probably, from an ideological standpoint, think less of Republicans than the Democrats. Because Democrats just say, yeah, we hate men. We're going to advance the interests of women and every other marginalized group at the expense of you, Mike. And you know what, Mike, you're a white man and you're straight and you have all this privilege. I think you should go to jail, or I think you shouldn't be allowed to say what you say. I don't think you should be allowed to have a website. I don't think you should be on Twitter. You're lucky that you're not in jail. Well, at least they're honest with me. Republicans say, yeah, well, the society is becoming pussified and we need more masculinity in society. And then I say, great, what are you going to do for me? Here I am, here I am. Oh, well, Mike, no. You're racist, Mike, or you're misogynist, no. Can't have that. So what are you doing for me, Republicans? That's why I call them Cuckservatives. What are you doing for me? When Gawker came after me, when Newsweek came after me, when MSNBC came after me, the SJWs were trying to fuck me in the ass. Did you have my back, or did you watch? Now, of course, you can't do it to me because of who I am and because of the ideas that I have and the people I talked about. But if I had said, I'm sorry, 3 years ago, I made a tweet that was like, off color. Real sorry. I'm just going to leave Twitter. How many Republicans would be like, you know what, Mike? You're right. We need to have your back. We support you. You know my back. I could be gone tomorrow. So I would rather talk to Democrats and liberals because at least they're honest. At least we can have a real exchange and maybe find some common ground than Republicans who'd fucking stab me in the back in a second. Now they're saying, well, if you even use the word Cuckservative, and all Cuckservative means is it's a conservative who blabs on about masculinity and standing up for principles and what's right. And then they want to watch people like me get fucked. Don't have my back. They watch, or sometimes they'll join in. They'll join in the perch. Oh, yeah, you're right, boy. You ever see that guy's Twitter? They don't care how I live. They don't care what I do. They've never read Guerrilla Mindset. They've never talked to how many people, right, have a better life? Suicide's proof. They don't want to hear any of that. A couple tweets. So I don't like them either, right? But if you're a Republican, I'll still talk to you if you get through the filtering. So if we meet in real life, I'll have coffee with anybody. I'll have coffee with a social justice warrior. I don't care. I'll talk to anybody. Because if you get through that filtering, then you get it, right? You're like me. You have dimension. You can say, you know what? I can sit across the table from someone, talk to that person, sort of kind of understand where they're coming from, find out maybe we have more common ground than we think we do. Maybe we ought to reach some compromises. Or you can just be a little fucking crybaby. I ain't got time for crybabies. Because anybody who's read Guerrilla Mindset knows what? You got to take action. I don't hypnotize you with spellbinding words. I can do that motivational shit really good. But I don't. I tell you, here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to do. I don't give you feel-good things. I don't say you're an amazing person. I say if you're an amazing person, are you doing amazing things? What have you done today that's amazing? That makes you amazing? You're unique. What have you done today that other people don't do? You're special. What have you done today that's above and beyond what other people do? That's what I tell people. That's not motivational, but it is, in a way, it's inspirational. Because then you start to think inspiration is inspiring ideas. And then you're like, fuck, he's right. I haven't done shit today. I fucking wasted my whole day, jerked off into a sock. I'm hungover. I'm going to watch TV. And then I'm going to go wake up to my job that I don't like. What is that? That's a wasted life. And then it inspires ideas. You're like, but you know what? Right now I'm going to do something a little bit different. Because going back to Aristotle, you are what you do. And then if you want to throw in a little Nietzsche, you got to have a little edge, guys. You gotta start a fight every now and then. Start a fight with yourself, right? You got to have that edge. Dale Carnegie, though, you got to know how to connect with people, okay? Your message is nothing. If all I were just some aggro fucking ape, I wouldn't have anything, right? You have to have all these different sides. So those are the three philosophers. And people would say, well, Dale Carnegie's not a philosopher. And I'm not going to argue with you. Again, that's a dumb argument. But they have had the biggest influences on me and how I do and how I live my life and how I try to help you live your life. So there's a method to the madness. You know, there is thought going behind all this stuff. And guys, quit trying to control me. I don't try to control you. When do I tell you what you can post on the internet? Ever? So what in your mind makes you a slave? Try to tell me another slave. Because let's face it, if the establishment wanted me gone, I would be gone. They'd plant stuff on my computer or put drugs on me, or somebody would, frame me for a crime. Let's be honest, right? We're all slaves trying to be not total slaves. We're trying to rise up a little bit. Why are you trying to hold other people back? Why are you trying to hold me back? I'm not trying to hold you back. I'm trying to bring you up. I want to bring you to another level, to a higher level. And if that level's higher than me, you know what? God bless you. I want you all to do better than I've done. And I'll be happy. So that's my message. Those are who I like and don't like. If you don't like the video, voice your displeasure. But I delete the comments. Not because I care about criticism, but because you're not going to pollute the other people who come here. Because I don't want them drawn. Because me, I don't care. I like it. I love the hate. But there is a community here. And if you're a piece of shit, you're not welcome. But if you don't like the video, click dislike, because that will actually boost my SEO. And leave a hater comment, because that will boost it even after I delete it. And if you do like the video, like and share it. Keep asking your questions. Keep letting me know what you think. And I'm going to talk to you guys soon. And hopefully you have more questions. This is day 10. Oh, and if you've never heard of me, my name is Mike Cernovich from Gorilla Mindset, from Danger and Play. And apparently I have the most dangerous Twitter on the planet. Bye.